European Parliament will hold a vote on crypto bill without proof of work provision. U.S. lawmakers and Fed Chairman Powell push for crypto regulation in wake of Russia sanctions. Biden is planning to sign an executive order on cryptocurrency this week for the 27th week in a row. We've only heard that the last 5 or 6 weeks, so we'll see if they finally do it this week. But first, we're going to check out the charts. Welcome to Crypto Money. I'm your host, KC, on Twitter at Crypto Money Show. You can see here that Bitcoin is trading sideways in this Fibonacci sort of channel between 32,000 and 41,000 about. So this is your long-term chart, a weekly chart. Each one of these candlesticks here represents a week of trading. So this would be your more long-term chart. This is a little bit cause of concern for me, seeing the MACD down here negative. That indicates bearish territory, and it's been there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks maybe or so. In the last 4 to 7 weeks about. It's been trading bearish, so we'll see what happens. A lot of people are waiting to see what happens with the Fed rate hikes. I think that's around March 16th, which is incidentally the same day that Russia is set to either default or pay on about 100 and some $1 million worth of Federal Reserve bonds, Federal Reserve notes, or Treasury notes, whatever. So exciting times. It's going to be an exciting next week or two to see what happens when the Fed either raises rates or holds off. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen in Russia and Ukraine between now and then. This is your weekly chart or daily chart. Each one of these candlesticks is worth 1 day of trading. If you scan over here, bring it in, blah, blah, blah. It looks like trading down a little bit on the daily chart. You'll draw your Fibonacci from high to low between the 32,000, 41,000. Trading at the upper end of that. From everything I'm seeing, I'm pretty much just holding on right now. The MACD, the RSI down here is, oh, don't want that. The MACD and the RSI not really looking great, just kind of moving sideways. It's a great time for me. What I do during this time is I dollar cost average the same as I always do, but instead of buying in, I just transfer fiat currency into an exchange and hold it there. I just have either US dollar tether or US dollar coin, just holding in a holding pattern until the Fed rate goes through and we see what happens in the greater markets, because it seems like cryptocurrency markets and traditional markets are somewhat correlated. So we'll see if that changes. I did see on CoinMarketCap that the total cryptocurrency, the global, uh, what was it? The total was like, oh, global currency total was um, down from 1.9 trillion to 1.6 trillion. So it's down by about $300 million overall, or 300 billion, I guess it would be. So that's a lot. About 3.5%, I think it was. So, like I said, I'm just holding, but there's a lot of promising things on the future, on the horizon, because we've got legislation in the works really around the world to bring cryptocurrency into mainstream. They're wanting to, several governments, the EU and the United States, among others, India, passing cryptocurrency favorable, or at least cryptocurrency, making cryptocurrency, illegal tender or legal to trade and whatnot. I mean, taxes in India are like 30% or something crazy, which, I mean, here in America, that's probably that's probably a good deal. But any tax to me is too much. So whatever. Uh, but we're going to cover. Let's look at some of these news stories about the European Union and the United States. Um, uh, Passing legislation. First, I wanted to talk about the headwinds in the market coming up, so you know what to look for. Um, Deepening geopolitical nightmare unfolding in Ukraine. Macroeconomic consequences are building up. Crypto is struggling to keep up. Um, just something to look for. We're looking for a rough week ahead. However, like I said, it's a good time to save up and get ready. Get ready for a downturn, or get ready to buy in if we get good news and something goes up. Global equities shedding $2.9 trillion in value last week. The S&P 500 is below 6-month lows. It's lower than as low as it's been since I think June of last year. So it's almost at a 1-year low. The Dow entering correction territory. So all kinds of macro headwinds and TradFi, which seem to be affecting DeFi negatively at the moment, but we'll see what happens in the future. You have a ban on Russian oil imports, or yeah, like the United States importing oil. So we'll see. Um, Here's an analyst saying I would, if the Russian oil embargo happens, there would be a high probability of stocks limiting down immediately off the news. So yeah, I mean, they were just talking about that, kind of brainstorming or uh, mentioning it, and the oil price of oil shot way up. So we'll see what happens with that. But I want to talk about this European Parliament voting on their crypto bill, as a number of nations seem to be doing. Strong support for MiCA, MiCA, is a strong signal from the European Union Parliament for a technology neutral and innovation friendly financial sector. Technology neutral says to me they're not passing laws that favor one cryptocurrency over another. Like, it doesn't favor stable coins over traditional cryptocurrencies, and it doesn't or support or help proof of stake versus proof of work or anything like that. And I think they talk about that here in this story about proof of work mining. Yeah, the Parliament of the European Union has scheduled a vote on a framework aimed at regulating cryptocurrencies after addressing concerns over proof of work mining. They want to treat all technology the same, which is good. I mean, I never really like hearing about the bureaucratic government organizations getting involved in private business, because they tend to screw things up and make it harder for creativity, innovation, research and development, stuff like that. But here, I mean, this sounds good, which is usually what it starts out as. With MiCA, the EU can set global standards. Therefore, all those involved are now asked to support the submitted draft. Blah blah blah. They want to rally support in the parliament for this. The regulation aims to provide legal certainty and establish reliable supervisory structures for crypto assets amid concerns around the energy consumption of mining. Energy consumption of mining is referring to the concerns that climate change activists and environmentalists have that proof of work mining, cryptocurrency mining, is harmful in the environment because it uses a lot of energy, which is produced by a power plant, which is typically a coal powered power plant. But even if you use solar panels, those solar panels have to be they have glass. They're made using glass and filament and other natural raw materials that have to be mined out of the earth. You cannot harness you cannot harness renewable energies without fossil fuels. You can't do it. You have to have some way to capture wind, or capture the sunlight or whatever. But so it takes both. The MiCA bill first introduced to the European Commission in September 2020, so this is about a year and a half old, adopted by the European Council in November 2021, so about a year later, aimed to create a regulatory framework for the crypto assets market that supports innovation and draws on the potential of crypto assets in a way that preserves financial stability and protects investors. This is something that a number of governments around the world are attempting to do in order to position themselves and their countries, as a cryptocurrency friendly nation. I saw this in a story about uh, South Korea investing 100, I think, $87 million in metaverse infrastructure to encourage research and development, innovation, investment in Korean based metaverse companies, metaverse projects, protocols, etc. And here you have the EU creating a regulatory framework that is friendly. It supports innovation, draws on the potential of crypto assets. And this is very important for these governments to position themselves early on, as the United States is trying to do. What the United States is doing is trying to affect the global cryptocurrency market positively. Hopefully, you heard Jerome Powell actually talking about this here in this story about the need for congressional action in digital finance, including cryptocurrencies, because if the United States doesn't lead, then someone will. Here you can see it is time, in fact, it is past time for all of us to lead on creating a regulatory environment in which we, rather than the world's despots, terrorists, and money launderers, benefit from the emergence of cryptocurrency, including a central bank digital currency. It is time for all of us to act. That was a representative who sits on some sort of banking committee. And then you have, so basically the argument here is that um, we need a regulatory framework in place, and we need to lead the way on that so that uh, dictators and despots do not. Basically, we don't want Vladimir Putin creating international law or international standard industry norms for the cryptocurrency industry. We want the community. Cryptocurrency is really about the community. So if there's a way for the community to be engaged in this regulatory framework, that would be great. And I'm sure there are multiple ways of doing that. Contacting your local representatives, state and federal representatives, and expressing your interest in fair and balanced cryptocurrency legislation. So let's see, Jerome Powell added that the U.S. is not leading the world in regulatory clarity of cryptocurrencies, and that leaves the door open to foreign nations that may not always have the best intentions. And this was coming on the heels of the Russia incursion into Ukraine, the invasion. Here's Elizabeth Warren. Cryptocurrencies risk undermining sanctions against Russia, allowing Putin and his currencies to evade economic pain. U.S. financial regulators need to take this threat seriously and increase their scrutiny of digital assets. I know Elizabeth Warren is in tight with the banking community, and she has said negative things about cryptocurrency in the past. It looks like she's using this opportunity to um scrutinize. It's how she puts it: scrutiny of digital assets. I don't want to go there. Yeah, I just don't. I don't think that's positive from her perspective. But you know, either way, we'll see what happens. But the U.S. is trying to lead the way on this, so we'll see what happens uh, with different policy frameworks that are put in place, and we'll see if Biden comes out with this um, executive order this week on cryptocurrency, as we've been hearing for weeks and weeks. I mean, I don't know when they started saying this because it's just all I expected it. I know at least beginning of February, at least 4 weeks ago, they were saying this week, this week, this week. So we'll see what happens. It looks like here President Joe Biden is set to sign an executive order this week summarizing the U.S. government's strategy for dealing with cryptocurrencies, according to reports from Bloomberg and Reuters. So maybe Bloomberg and Reuters need to get their act together. Quit telling us that he's doing this. A few bullet points there. I'll just go over them. The order would direct federal agencies. I remember reading at one point it was like 10 different agencies. It's everything everyone. I'm surprised it's not more actually. To consider potential regulatory changes in addition to the national security and economic implications of cryptocurrencies. The White House has been under pressure to play a more central role in setting policies for and regulating digital assets. That's coming from the community. The community in cryptocurrency is very important, and we have the strength, we have the influence to pressure these politicians into positive legislation, good, sound policies that protect the consumer, that protect developers, protect technology and innovation. The pressure on the White House has only increased with sanctions imposed against Russia because of the invasion into Ukraine, and concerns that companies and individuals could use cryptocurrencies to circumvent said sanctions. The White House has been working on the order since last year, and in January, reports surfaced that the order was coming soon. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing over and over. We're going to get an order on this, and they need a political win. So I'm expecting something either super vague or really positive. I don't expect anything negative because the market's already doing so bad. I mean, they're getting ready to raise rates, and I expect this to be actually positive to boost the market in some way. It'll be really, I think if it is positive, it'll be veiled. It'll be a veiled sort of uh it'll be questionable. We won't really know for sure or not. Like it'll be a lot of kind of word salad that says, well, we need to look into this. We need to do let's look into it. We're going to look into it. And it won't, I don't know. I just don't see them actually making history with in a positive way. But they might. They might. Uh, President Biden could always commission Congress. That's what needs to happen. That's what Jerome Powell is saying is we need congressional action. So maybe that'll happen. Maybe we'll hear some direction given to Congress for to form legislation and policy. But who knows? Maybe we won't get an executive order until Christmas. The order will require federal agencies to report later this year on their progress with respect to dealing with digital tokens. Okay, so that right there, that's already telling me the order is going to come out and say, hey, go ahead and look at this. I'm ordering these agencies to look at cryptocurrency, and they're going to get back with me later this year on progress. So don't expect anything of note for a while, I guess. CoinDesk has reached out to the White House to confirm the report, but has yet to receive an answer. CoinDesk is where I get a lot of these stories. If you want to check out CoinDesk, Cointelegraph, cryptonews.com, blockchainnews.com, and many others out there. There's a lot of information. Cryptocurrency is an exciting opportunity to invest. It's touching everything. It's going to get in every industry, and I'm convinced that it's basically the next generation of computer code. Uh, and what's happening is retail investors are able to front run the front runner. Usually, new companies, new projects, new technology gets invested in first by venture capitalists and investment bankers who buy, millions of dollars of, maybe Microsoft or something before it actually goes on public sale for the retail investor. With cryptocurrency, the little guy, the retail investor, is able to invest in projects, cryptocurrency projects, before they're even completed. I mean, look at Ethereum, Bitcoin, everything. I mean, it's all these projects are in the works, and they're available for investing now, early on, before they even gain mass adoption. So, cryptocurrency, it is risky. So, nothing I say here should be construed as investment advice. Investing is risky. Crypto is risky. You should never invest more than you can afford to lose. Always do your own research, conduct your own due diligence. The investing strategies for you are the strategies that you're comfortable with, and they make you money. That's all for now. Like and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you next time on Crypto Money.